Alvin, how are you doing physically?
I'm good, man. I feel good. Woke up this morning, got out of bed. I wasn't in any pain, so obviously I ain't play yesterday, so I'm cool. Living a pain-free life.
How tough have these last few weeks been just not being able to be out there?
Yeah, it's tough. Feel like this season I kind of beat every injury that I could, and this last one was just a little bit. It's a little bit more. It was a little bit more intricate, and could have went. Obviously, I know. I think a lot of people was mad yesterday about me not being available, and kind of blaming like the team or the organization, like, well, why rest them if there's it's the last game and it's that. It was a joint decision, so it's not all on Riz, it's not all on me. I mean, we both kind of came together and was like, and even the training room with Ben and Sean and those guys, and it made the most sense to sit, even sometimes them saving me from my own self, right? So. Um, I know everybody was thinking about the 50 yards, and I'll just address that. Like, I wanted it, but I'm not. It's not. I've never chased. I've never chased records in this league. I've never chased like, oh, I want to get 1,200 yards in this. I've never chased that, and because of that, I think I've been able to keep the game pure in a sense. Like you sometimes you squeeze something too hard and it fall out your hand. So I've been blessed enough to amass a ton of yardage, a ton of touchdowns, a ton of accolades, and it's all because I'm in the moment. Like, I'm where my feet are, and then when that situation or that experience is done, I'm on to the next. I'm not really looking back at it. I'm just looking at what's next up on my plate. So we'll have another opportunity to get 1,000 yards. I think I'm playing next year, so we'll be all right. But I appreciate, like, you see all the fans and everybody, like, how much everybody wanted me to get the 1,000, and I'm like, man, that means a lot because I feel like people wanted it. It sounds crazy, but I feel like people wanted it for me more than I wanted it. I wanted it though, but just for the people that have helped me and made me available. Like, even like Ben and Sean and those guys in the training room and JT, like everybody that kind of had a hand in has a hand in preparing me for the season. I'll be wanting like the records and the accolades more for them. Like, when I break something, I'm like, hey, y'all saw that? Dope. Like, it's cool. Appreciate y'all. We gonna do it next next off season. We go prepare for the next season and break some more. So, yeah, that's kind of what that is.
What does the offseason look like for you?
Um, get out of the way of football. I don't really watch too much football anyway. But when the off season come, like season over, I'm not doing anything. I'm just decompressing, kicking with the fam, put on my other work hats. I got a lot of stuff going on, so just kind of decompress.
What would you like to see from the organization going forward?
I would love to see the organization keep the Saints in New Orleans. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot that's going on that that maybe I don't have too much involvement in. I think I'll go upstairs and talk to Mickey, talk to Miss B, talk to Rizzy, obviously, and kind of just you gotta. It's literally like the first day of the off season, so kind of go up there and it's like exit meeting. See what's going on, see what thoughts, concerns, anything going on, and then we go from there. But me personally, what I want to see from the organization, I'm not going to speak to that because I like to kind of gather all my information and get all my ducks in a row before I come up with something and just say something for the sake of answering the question.
This might fall in that same boat, but obviously this team is going to choose a next head coach. What do you feel like are the characteristics that are necessary for whoever's going to lead this locker room?
Yeah, I ain't gonna go. That's not that bad of a question. Your question was worse, but I ain't gonna too much go there yet because I think, like, I just want everybody, even like some of the older dudes on the team, like Cam and Tyron, and dudes that played a lot of football that have experienced other things, and then like for Mickey and Rizzy, all those guys, like I kind of want to get on the same page with everybody, and because my perception of what's going on may be different from some other guys. So I never want to put myself at a disadvantage and say, well, we need this, and then after the fact I talk to somebody else and they give me a different view, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe we don't need that, we need this. So just get on the same page with guys and see what's going on.
How do you evaluate Rizzy's taking over?
Man, I think the thing about this business, you're measured by wins and losses. And, Rizzy obviously came in at a time where we needed a jolt, and he gave that to us, right? But, I think for the most part, nobody cares about the word interim. They like, well, they went 5-12, you know what I'm saying? And then, you lose a couple games, and it's like, oh, well, we need a new coach, But internally, from what I've seen, like, I know Rizzy is more than capable. He's not scared to make change. He's not scared to hold people accountable. He holds himself accountable. He's just a genuine dude, you know what I'm saying? And I think personally he has what it takes to be a head coach in this league. Now, like I said, there's conversations that got to be had upstairs. There's evaluations that need to be done. The process is still going to be the process. I'm going to interview coaches and see what's going on. But, if I had to throw a vote in the hat, like, I'm with Rizzy, but that don't necessarily mean the most because, like we said again, it might be things that, upstairs they have conversations and they think they need, and it might not be Rizzy or it might not be another candidate, so that's why I don't like to go too far into that because I want to make sure, even talk to Rizzy, like, and see what he thinks and see what he needs or he wants, because this is a business where, we all looking for the same results, so we got to help each other. And, I think the past 3 years it's been a lot of disconnect on the teamwork thing, from upstairs and in here. So we just gotta everybody gotta get on the same page and figure it out.
Do you want to be a part of those conversations?
I kind of got a different approach. Like, when you say that, I kind of see like sitting in a meeting formally, like, like with a notepad, and that's not my jam. That ain't my approach. I think y'all kind of see how I move around and how I communicate and how I interact with people. So, mine is a little bit more informal, a little bit more like, what's up, like. So I do in some sort of capacity, and I think that's another thing. Like, just transparently, like, Nikki, how involved can I be, or how involved do you want me to be? And none of it is taken personally. Like, if it's like, well, nah, we don't need you in it. All right, that's cool. Like, y'all let me know if y'all need me. I'll be somewhere, maybe in Africa, maybe in Portugal, maybe in Spain. I don't know, but y'all let me know and I'm available. So we'll see.
Derek mentioned maybe some of the positive signs. First couple of games, obviously even the jump with Rizzy. Like, if you were talking to a fan, and you obviously interact with fans a lot, you hear from them, 50 yards, everything. What would you tell a fan as far as like why they should be encouraged about like what's coming ahead for the Saints?
First and foremost, I would tell them to stop building them parlays, because that'll skew your view on what's going on around here. You got Derek Carr for 102.5 yards and he get 98, and now you mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, but in all seriousness, there's a lot of good stuff going on around here, man. It's this city, and me being the prime example. Like, I could have, this whole year I could have been like, you know what? I don't want to play here. I'm gonna just play the season, and then after the season I'll figure out. Like, I could have, kind of forced my way out, but I know what's in the cloth here. I know what it feels like to be on top out here. I mean, we had a good stretch of, great teams and good feelings around here. So I know that essence isn't lost. We just kind of, it's a little dark, and we got to find a path to get back to that, to get back on track. So I'll tell the fan, like, try to step outside try to step outside of taking it personal, like, they don't care about us because they keep letting this happen, or, man, it's a lot that goes into this. It's $1 billion organization. It's $1 billion league that we playing in. There's a lot of components that go into, putting the product out, and even like as simple as, like training room, weight room, like equipment, like there's so many moving parts, and, a lot of these parts are moving independently towards a common goal, right? So for me, I think just in my life, everything is about communication. So, something that, and I'm not saying this is a thing, but something that's going on in the training room, the weight room is kind of, they coexist in a way, but, they might be missing on something. So coming together and just getting understanding on something small might make all the difference. Or something upstairs with, Mickey or even Miss B or something, like, if it's something that they need from me and I wasn't understanding that, and tell me, and I'm like, oh, dang, that's all you needed. And, boom, right there, you get some synergy and you fix some things that may have been a problem hypothetically. So just bear with us. That's what I would say.
Why was it important to you, though? You just mentioned you could have let, why is it important to you to help you to think through this instead of going to Buffalo?
Yeah, because, I ain't never really been a quitter. 1, 2, I think this city, and my mom always tell me you don't owe anybody anything in life. She tell me that, and she tell me I don't even owe her anything. But, I feel like something in me wants to say, like, I owe it to the city, because I've been here for going on 9 years now, almost 9 years, and, I've been here and I've experienced the highs, and just because it gets low, that don't mean like, oh, well, it's over with, let me pack up. I did what I did. Like, I just, I felt kind of like a responsibility to be like, shoot, I was here when it's good, I was a part of that. Like, I'm here when it's bad, I got my hand in it. Like, the thing that makes sense to me the most is to get it back to when it was good, you know what I'm saying? So, plus I like some of the people around here, so it don't make no sense to go nowhere. Yeah.
Alvin, what gives you confidence going forward in the organization? You talked about the confidence you have in the organization.
Yeah.
The leadership. Some fans are not as confident.
Yeah, they don't go. Yeah.
So what gives you the confidence? You're on the inside.
Yeah.
You see it.
That right there, what you just said, I'm on the inside. I think it's a lot of people, even you guys, you on the inside. You guys know what's going on in here for the most part. Not everything, but as a fan, like the person down the street, not to on them, but they don't know anything about what's going on in the NFL locker room or NFL organization. They just see Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it's about. It's about Sundays, but it's like I said earlier, it's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of independent components that work together to come up with a common result or common goal. And sometimes you gotta get that back on track. Sometimes some things aren't in sync, and for whatever reason, you see what results you get at the end. So, it's tough, man. I think I'm kind of like answering the same question a couple times, but we just gotta get in sync. Everybody gotta get in sync, and I think the fans, they'll be all right, because this is Mark Ingram taught me a lot when we were together, and one thing he taught me is that it's conditional. They love you when you're winning, they hate you when you're losing. And shoot, when you start winning again, they'll love you again. But I think this city is a little different. They love us. They love you while they hate you. So I know a lot of people hate us, but they still got their fleur-de-lis flying, and they still gonna pull up to the dome and all that. But I think we owe it to the fans in the city to figure out whatever it is and get it changed ASAP. So.
Do you think the team's close? Do you think you're all with the right guys?
Like I said, I think there's 3 different perceptions. It's a perception that I have, it's a perception that somebody else has, and then it's like what I perceive you to be perceiving. So I don't want to speak too much on if we're close or not, because I want to get on the same page with everybody and figure out like what do you see? Because I have an opinion. I'm not gonna make that public before I get on the same page with everybody. And I'm not that I'm scared to say what I gotta say. Y'all know I speak my mind, but. I think this is the perfect time to get on the same page. We're not worried about another opponent. Now we just worry about the Saints.